I thought that also that I remembered in one discussion from the DDA that the goal in a perfect world would that people would not have any more tickets.
Yes.
Yes. Is that correct? I mean, the goal is not to ticket because something else being proposed is that fines, I guess of all sorts, including tickets, are proposed to go up. But the DDA is trying not to fine people. Is that?
I think the DDA would really sees parking as an asset to the downtown and something that you know, people don't come downtown to park their car. They come downtown for other reasons, and parking is just an amenity that's provided in the downtown. And as pleasant as we can make that for people, that's our goal. And so, so the things that we think about doing are to enhance that experience. And it really is terrible. You know, people don't like getting tickets.
Right.
It's an incredible burden to being downtown and parking at a meter and saying, oh, my meter's going to expire in an hour. I have to get up and leave my restaurant, or you know, to have this lovely evening only to find that you go and you have a ticket. And so the idea is that with technology and thinking a little bit differently about demand, you know, with the idea of demand management, we can use technology in order to encourage people to park places, or to use the technology in a way that we can allow people a more pleasant experience. So if for example, they park at one of those pay boxes that we have now, the ePark pay boxes, and they're able to extend their meter by another hour by using their cell phone and their credit card, and they can do that from their table while they're having dinner, then they've avoided a ticket. And I think that the DDA is thinking about a system in which we're flexible enough that we might one day live in a place where you're going to pay for parking, but there's not going to necessarily be a fine after the fact. You might pay more for parking, for that privilege of parking there without the ticket.
Right, right, but not get the ticket.
But not get the ticket.
Right. Going along with DDA and the parking structures and income, or the revenue that they have, the DDA gives approximately $45,000 bonus to the executives of the parking company, the company that manages Republic Parking. And they're doing the job they were hired to do, and they get, I think, $150,000 a year.
I think that's about right.
So my question is, why do they get bonuses? And I'm aware of this going on for 3 years. So let's say roughly $130,000. So I'm just wondering why the DDA gives a bonus to the executives.
You know, it's been talked about at our board table. I don't think we talked about it much this year. We talked about it, I think, a lot last year when the bonus came about. My understanding is that it's pretty standard practice in parking operations to write a contract such that there is a management, it's not called a bonus, it's called an incentive.
Yes.
And that there's a base amount of fee that's paid, and then there's this other amount that says that if you do a really great job, then you'll get this and this amount. And if you don't, then we have the ability to not give it to you. That's the way I've interpreted it, that basically we're agreeing to pay them a certain amount, and I see it as not paying them more, but the option of paying them less if they haven't lived up to what we've asked them to do.
So if they do their job, what you've asked them to do, what they're getting paid for anyway, they're going to still get an incentive. I'm just wondering, because it seems like when you look at it over time, and when we talk about putting meters in other places, $45,000, I mean, maybe in the whole scheme of things a lot, but in the scheme of the parking lots and everything, it is quite a bit of money.
It's a fair amount. And like I said, the way that I thought about it, now I'm not sure if this is the way everybody has thought about it, but I've thought it was, I never think about it as an extra amount. I think about it as the total amount. So if it was 150, you know, then it's 200,000, that's what we're paying them. But we have the ability to hold back some of what we've agreed to pay them if they're not doing what we've asked them. Attached to that extra money is a list of standards that they are evaluated by, and every year that this has come before the DDA, I've taken a look at that report and have seen that, you know, they've gone and done a lot of extra. They've gone to do extra training, have implemented new software programs to help us try to do these changes that we're seeing in Ann Arbor. They're not doing this in other cities that they work in. So they're really expanding their business, you know,
their scope of what they're
scope
giving
of
you.
work.
for you.
On our behalf, and I feel like that definitely is above and beyond what we had agreed when they were first hired. So like I said, I never see it as they're getting more money. I just see it as an option for us to pay them less, and I've never seen a reason for us to pay them less.
Okay, all right. So there's another thing with the DDA. The DDA apparently has some new buzzwords from the retreat. I was reading about it. And the new buzzwords seem to be diversity and compact. Not compactness,
Okay.
but compact. So can you tell us what the implications are of these words of diversity and compact when it comes to downtown?
Yeah, I think that they're, I wouldn't call them maybe new buzzwords, just that they're resurfacing again. They're words that I've heard a lot as I've worked with the DDA and when I was on Planning Commission talking about urban design and smart growth principles, those kind of things that that most of us like to see in Ann Arbor. And so I think when we talk about diversity, we're talking about a diversity of uses in our downtown. Like you said in your opening, the evening economy, which has seemed to emerge in our town now of having restaurants and evening entertainment, that's not really that diverse. I mean, we'd like to see a downtown that has something to offer shoppers during the day and restaurants at night, and that we're seeing something for everyone.
Right.
We would like to see a diversity of income levels in our downtown so that we have all sorts of income levels living in our downtown. We'd like to see a diversity of ages,
Right.
in types of businesses, so a diversity of all kinds of things. I think we have that pretty well in Ann Arbor, but we can't really take our eye off of that goal. Compactness, I think, relates to the fact that urban areas need to be accessible and compact in their nature so that people can get around easily from, and which is what we have, I think, already. We have a pretty well-defined downtown. It's pretty walkable. You can get from one side to the other. And that the places in between should be kind of packed in with things.
Right, right. I'm concerned about the downtown being so restaurant-focused and wondering how sustainable that is,
Right.
I mean, to draw others, certainly in function as well as diversity of population.
Yep.